of supporters and sympathizers of the new Patriotic Party poured out onto the streets of Kumasi to protest what they describe as the current economic hardships in the country. The protesters wielding placards also complained bitterly about the ongoing nationwide power rationing exercise they say has been deliberately intensified in the Ashanti region. Organizers say the protest is the first in a series that will be going nationwide. A report by Mahmoud Mohammed Nuruddin.
The protesters were already set for the demonstration as early as 6 a.m. Tuesday, and as the time wore on, their numbers grew, adding on as they traversed through the streets of the Garden City. The protesters wore red and black, explaining it was to communicate their anguish about the devastation of the economy and the unbearable power rationing program. From the Suame roundabout, they went through Bantama and some principal streets of the Kumasi metropolis. The police were also on hand to control the demonstrators, some on motorbikes, but it became all too obvious they were overwhelmed. The protesters at some point became disorganized, making control extremely difficult for the police. Holding placards with different descriptions to indicate their frustrations and disappointment, they chanted their grief. A group amongst them chose to portray the state of the ceremony with a coffin, saying it was dead beyond resurrection, so long as it remained in the hands of the current administration. The young, old, male and female were all on the streets for the demonstration. Officials say it's the biggest so far in the country. Bernard Inchuboisiako, also known as Chairman Wontumi, accused the ruling party of mismanagement and failure to fulfill the promises they made prior to 2012 general elections. According to the Ashanti Regional Chairman of the NPP, over 1 million Ghanaians have signed a petition asking President John Dramani Mahama to resign.
Judgment that justice of the Supreme Court to be NOC and create, loot and share about because in a real or minus cannot take it near the NAP. That's all yes, sir. But before say, Ubu Koto Kwasia, Nakopo, Opeopo, Ubu Koto Kwasia, Nami, Opeopo. Ladies, sir, money man, yeah, buying Ghana for money man, yeah, buying here. Ama, yeah, what you say? Yeah, Shagana phone crying. Sir, and penny for say, Achia, na movie, I see the boy in other. Achia, the movie, I see the boy in other. Say, yeah, Kono, yeah, trash here. It didn't like I tell this before, sir. But you don't know. How much of a face, or mine, or want to do someone to be more, or much on them all. Magana for your Ghana for ma. Woman in dear, our Mamu, if I show
Mahmoud Mohammed Nuruddin's report for Joy News.
Mura government says it finds it difficult taking suggestions on Ghana's development when they are politically motivated. Reacting to Tuesday's massive demonstration in Kumasi on today's big story, Information and Media Relations Minister Mama Yariga says the opposition New Patriotic Party should not be speaking for the people of the Ashanti region.
Well, I mean, we have always taken every Ghanaian who has spoken about anything from the economy to our politics seriously. It depends on how informed the dialogue is. If you speak from a clearly very informed position, I think that we have an ear to listen to that.
Very well.
But if you don't engage in that kind of dialogue, I mean, you are free to go ahead and do that, but it just creates a situation where you might not be heard. I know ECG is not a partisan group. It is an establishment that we have put together with technical competence, and they're doing their job. I believe that if there's any special problem in relation to any municipality, I think that if the attention is drawn to it, they will be able to provide a technical reason why it is the way it is. And so I think that the efforts to create an impression that a certain town or location has been picked up for victimization or unfair treatment in this power rationing exercise that they are involved in. I think that when we do that, we misrepresent things and we set ourselves back.